Welcome everyone. Today we are going to have a very deep instructions on how to fill the famous form DS260. There are so many things people should know and understand about the DS260 form. Number one, what is the DS260? What is DS260 form? When should you fill this form? What are the things which are important in the DS260 form? And what happens if you are the winner of the DV lottery, you are in the United States, versus if you are the winner of the DV lottery and you are outside of the United States? What should you do in those type of situations? In addition to that, we are going to find out some of the most important questions which are surrounding the DS260. For instance, are you allowed to make changes in the DS260 form? And if so, how do you make that request? And if you make any change, will the US Embassy in your country know that you made those changes, or they do not know? What if there is some sort of changes between the time you applied for the diversity visa lottery to the time you became the winner? Maybe you are divorced, maybe you are married, maybe the child is born, maybe the child has died, maybe the spouse has died, maybe you change the education, maybe you change the job, whatever. How do you go to put those kind of changes in the DS260? How do you put the interview location? And how do you change the interview locations? So today we are going to deal with all those kind of things surrounding the DS260. So if you make mistakes on this form, you might be in so much trouble. There are things which I want you to understand that it's very, very crucial. If today is your first time to come across my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. But I've started a new YouTube channel, which will be only for the diversity visa lottery videos. And that is www.youtube.com/DV lottery channel. Because on the EBM Scholars main channel, I put so many things nowadays, but I want people just to go and subscribe to one particular YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/DV lottery channel. In that channel will be only the videos on the diversity visa lottery. While on the EBM Scholars, EBM Swahili, other channels I have, I'll be adding other things related to the immigration. But if you want everything for the green card lottery, you come to this particular channel. Up to now, there are 27 videos. By next week, there will be more than 150 videos only on the diversity visa lottery. So let's get it. You have checked the DV lottery results, and you come out to find that you are the winner of the DV lottery. You come to find out you have won the DV lottery. When should you fill this DS260? First of all, what is this DS260? So this is what is called immigrant visa form. Unlike the DS160, because majority of people, they know more about DS160. What is DS160 versus DS260? DS160 is simply the non-immigrant visa 160, meaning you are applying for the visa to come to the United States of America for the intention of returning back to your home country after the period of the visa you requested. For instance, you ask for visiting. For instance, you ask for also for, let's say, going to school, coming for work, meaning after that particular contract duration of stay, you'll be going back to your home country. That is a non-immigrant visa. That's why even on the interview, you have to show proof that you will be returned to your home country. So majority of people are used to DS160, which is different from DS260, because DS260 is for immigrant visa. What does immigrant visa mean? Simple. Immigrant visa means you are coming to the United States to become immigrant. I know people have so many definitions about the word immigrant, but I want to give you the correct definition according to the immigration law of the United States of America, how immigrant is defined in immigration concept in the United States. So if you come here, let's say to study PhD 5 years, you are not immigrant, you are non-immigrant. Immigrant is a person who is staying in that country on a permanent basis, the person who has a permanent residence, who is a green card holder in the United States. That person is a immigrant. So immigrant visa, you fill the form DS to become immigrant. That's why at the US Embassy, you will never be asked the question, or you'll never be asked to provide evidence and documentations that you will be returned to your home country once you come to the United States under the immigrant visa. So the questions which you hear, people talk about the experience at the US Embassy, majority of them are going there through the non-immigrant visa. And the questions when you come to the immigrant visa are different. And the reason of being denied the visa are different from non-immigrant visas to the immigrant. So you check the results. You find out you are the winner. When you check the results on May 6th this year, or whatever each year on the month of May, when you check the results for the diversity visa lottery, you'll find two types of results. Number one, your entry has been selected. You clap your hands, you are happy, you are the winner. But there are some people, it will say your entry has not been selected. So just in case if they say your entry has been selected, you are the winner, don't just jump the same day you are going to fill the DS260. And I'm going to show you the important things on this particular famous form, DS260. IV, Immigrant Visa Application. NIV, Non-Immigrant Visa, is DS160. So before you go to jump to fill the DS260, you have to go and find what are the list of documentations am I supposed to have when you are going for the visa interview. Yes, I'm jumping a little bit because if you know the documents which are recorded for the visa interview, some of those documentations or some of those information in those documentations must appear in the DS260. So there is a website, the government website. So I don't want to talk from the vacuum. The government website, which is travel.state.gov. This is the website of the Department of State. So if you search or you go to the Google search and write list of documents after winning the V lottery, the first search results out of 2 million results will be the list of documents which the V lottery winners must prepare after winning, and that will be coming from the Department of State website. And that list is as following. So this is the list of the documents which are required when you win the V lottery. So you prepare this documentation. Some you will put the information before the DS260, but some of these documentations or these documentations are also required when you appear at the consular officer for visa interview. Let me start. The first document after winning the DS260, after winning the V lottery, the diversity visa lottery, is to complete the DS260 Online Immigrant Visa Application. This online visa application, as I said, is online, not hard copy. In order to fill that one, there are things you need to have. Number one, obvious, as a winner, I'm not talking about the filling the DS260 if you are married to a US citizen and you are outside the United States. That's a different case. This is filling the DS260 as the DV lottery winner. You must have the following information. To access, in order to log in the DS260, you will be required to have the case number. Case number is the number you are given randomly after winning the DV lottery. If you're from Africa, it will be having the number of the year 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, blah, 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 AF, AS, OC, EU, blah, 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 000. Then there will be numbers. So you need to have the case number. You need to have confirmation number, the passport, and your year, your birth information, whatever. You put those information, you'll be able to log in. You need to complete that DS260. That will be talking about it. But there are certain important things you need to know when you are going to fill this DS260, because this is the one they are going to determine at the US Embassy when you go to the interview. So to access that one, you click that link and it will take you to the immigrant visa form where you'll be allowed to continue. So if you continue, the first thing they will need is the case number. The case number is required. If you put the case number here, it will take you to the place where you will put the confirmation number, your last name, the year of birth, blah, 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 blah. So that's why we usually say even if you are the winner, don't throw away your case number, your confirmation number. It will still be needed to log in. So that is number one. You need to complete the DS260, which we'll go to discuss in detail. But before you go to fill the DS260, you have to review the following things. You have to review your family status. From the day you applied the DV lottery to the day you are going to fill the DS260, is there anything has changed in your family? What does that mean? Is there any child who is born? Is there any child who has died? Is there any person, maybe you divorced, you got married? Because there is so many things which will be there. Because those information are crucial when you are going to fill the DS260. Let me give the example. If you apply the DV lottery, and while you are filling the DV lottery application on the day you applied in October, you are married and you win the DV lottery. When you go to the DS260, once you sign in, you'll find the name of the main applicant, and it will say principal applicant, and it will be coming down with the name of the person accompanying you, the derivative. If you put the children on the DV lottery application, your children's names will appear there too. So that is very important to note. But if you didn't have a child, or you were not married before, so you have to manually add that information. That's why we say, if your family circumstances have changed after entering the DV lottery application, for example, if you have gotten married or had a child, or you will need to add your new family members to your case. If they were there before, they automatically be added there. But if they are born after, you have to add them manually. But if you have a child who was the age was 20 years old at the time of application, but that child is now 21, still that child will continue to be added in the DS260 and will be considered just like under the age of 21 for the matter of coming to America. If you had a spouse or children prior to submitting the original entry, but you not included them on your original form, then your case will be disqualified. So this is very important. That's why we tell you, no matter what, you try to make sure that as soon as possible, take the photo of your children, your spouse, as soon as possible. Don't wait until October when the children are in boarding school to go and do that sometimes of applications. That means either you win without adding them and you'll be having trouble. So what are the supporting documentations? So before we go to all these supporting documentations, number one, obviously you need to have a passport. So you cannot complete the DS260 without the passport. The passport which you have here is the passport number exactly you'll be using on the day of the interview. Let's say your passport is about to expire today, but you used to fill the form, and you're going to renew. Or after filling the DS260, the passport is stolen. You have to get the new passport, and then you go to request to change or to make some editing of your DS260 and to change the passport. So if you win, you are married, you have children, make sure that don't rush to fill the DS260 until you make sure that your children have passport, your spouse has passport, you have a passport. Don't rush. I'm going to alone in America just because you have a passport and your wife and your children don't have passport, then they have to stay. No, go and get the passport. We usually say, yes, it is very good to fill as soon as possible, but if you don't have the passport of all you and your dependents, please don't rush. Remember, the visa interviews are scheduled based on what? Based on visa bulletin, which they are giving out the case numbers. So if your case number is 30,000, they are not going to give you the interview in October, even if you're the first person to fill that form. So that is very, very crucial for you to understand. So make sure that you have passport. Make sure the name of the passport, the name which are in birth certificates, must match those names. If they don't match, there is no problem. When you go to the interview, you must go with what? Legal affidavit to prove that person A and person B are the same. There are some people, the names in the passport and the names in the birth certificate, they match, but in the school certificate, maybe in the school certificate, they have 2 names instead of 3 names. Therefore, for that particular case, you'll be having difficulties, but don't worry. You can have legal affidavit to be the same. For instance, my name is Ernest Boniface Makulilo, but some of my academic, they have Ernest Makulilo, some they have Ernest Boniface Makulilo. So it's the same person still. Make sure if you are married, you must have the marriage certificate, because in the DS260, there will be a question which they ask you, when is or when was your marriage? The date. You are married to who, on what date? The date you put there must be on the date of the marriage certificate. So those are some of the important things. Then there is the issue of evidences to prove your work experience or education. We'll go on that too. So before you jump and go and fill that information, make sure you have on the side, have a minimum of high school education. You'll put the name of the school. When did you attend? That is the minimum. So if you have high school, you have a diploma, you have to put it both. If you have PhD, you have master's, you have bachelor degree, you have high school, you put all of them. That's what you're supposed to do. And for those people who don't have high school education and they depend much only on work experience, please take your time to make sure that before you go and fill that form, on the side, do your research. Start writing like you updated resume in American concept. Because there is a way you have to put the correct title, the job description correct. Don't think, go and look exactly job description written with the proper terminologies which are used to describe that job position. So with those kind of things, you are going now to fill the DS260. So when you go to fill the DS260, as I said, the first thing is to sign in the DS260. In order to sign in, first and foremost, you have to put what? The case number, if you are the DV lottery winner. On the case number, sometimes you can put maybe 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, AF 00009, whatever. Sometimes when you put all those 000 and the number, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes, but most it works. If it doesn't, remove the beginning 0, put the actual number in the end. So if you click continue on that form, it will take you to the second page. That page, it will take you to put the other information to continue to sign in. Meaning the case number which you have put will be there, But then you'll be told to put the confirmation number. And then to select if you are the applicant or is someone as a lawyer filling for you. And then you put the other information, then you can be able to sign in the DS260. So once you are inside the DS260, here's what I'm trying to explain. There are some people made a mistake in their names. For instance, the last name, instead of writing Makulilo, you put Makulili. When you are going to fill the DS260, on the signing in, you have to put the name which you used in the DV lottery application and winning. And then once you are inside the DS260, then you can make those changes to put the correct name. So, as I said, if you are just the main applicant alone, you are single. When you go to fill the information, it will put your name there, Makulilo Ernest, principal applicant. And it will give you the application, immigrant visa application status. It will say incomplete. You click on the incomplete, then you start filling that form. But if you are married, you'll find the name of your spouse is there. As long as on the day of application, you are married and you put your spouse. But if your spouse's name was not there, you are not married, it will not be there. So you manually go and add your spouse. If you had children before, whether you are married or not married, but you have children, and you applied with your children, the name of your children will appear here as accompanying member of the family. That is very, very important. So then this is divided into the following categories, the form. It is started with the personal information. It goes to the addresses, family, travel history to the United States. Then there is the issue of security background and the issue of you living in America, those kind of things. So the entire form, you can fill half, sign out, come later, sign in later, and continue. Don't think that you have to fill all at once and submit. That is the mistake. Everyone that's coming out today, you are going to fill everything. You want to submit to be the first one, thinking that you are going to be the first one to be called for the interview. And then next day you come to watch EBM Scholars videos or other YouTubers videos, you find it, oh, I made a mistake. Then you start panicking. That's why I say, don't rush to fill on the same day. If you are able to do that one, you can be able to do by making sure that you are going to take your time and have everything. And once you fill your name, you put your case number, your confirmation number, everything, you sign in. The first thing you find on the first page of that DS260 is the interview location. There will be the following things. Number one, when you are filling the DV lottery application form, there is a place they ask you, question number 6, if not mistaken, where are you right now? Right now, at the time of you applying for the DV lottery, where are you? If, let's say, I'm in Kuwait, if you say I'm in Ghana, Accra, if you say I'm in Kenya, even if you're not a citizen of that country, you're not born in that country, the location where you are at the time of the application, which you put on the DV lottery application, by default, it will be the location of the interview. So if, let's say, you are Kenyan, but you are in Qatar right now, or the day of the application you're in Qatar, it will say the interview location is in Qatar. So then they'll give you the option. Do you want to continue? This is your location of the interview, to do the interview in Qatar, or you want to change to another country? So you can change to put back to your country in Nairobi, in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. So the embassy, they start with the name of the city, they come to the country. So you can change the location that way. Or if you are in the United States at this time, wherever you are with the winner, they will tell you, you select interview under USCIS, meaning you are in the United States and the US Embassy. You do the DS260 here, and then you complete other form. It's called Form I-485, adjustment of status. So that is the time you will be allowed to change the interview location without being questioned anything. So if you decided by wherever you are, my interview is going to be in UAE, but down the road, whatever, 3 weeks later, you want to change the interview location, and especially it's not your home country, you are going to another country, you have to prove the residence in that country to be able to be assigned to that particular country. So there are so many other things which you need to make sure that you are that way. So the personal information, they will ask you your surname, first name, middle name. So here, if there is a mistake you put in the original application, maybe your name is not putting Makulili, putting Makulili, you will put the correct name now here. So now the information you put, exact name we are going to put in the DS260, this information is appearing in your actual your actual green card. This is when you get the card, you are going to have that card, the printed name will be the name you are going to put it there. So make sure that you put the correct name. If by any mistake you put the wrong date of birth in the developed application, here you can put the correct date of birth now, which will be appearing on your card. This will be the official record now. Then, other important things, we can go quicker on these particular issues. We're not supposed to do every single thing. So usually it's just some other information. If you have other names, you put the names there, all those kind of things. You put your names, gender, date of birth, you are married, all those kind of small information, you are going to put it there. It doesn't matter whether you are coming with your spouse or not. If you are married, you still put the married. There will be a question, will you be coming with your spouse to the United States of America? So the question is if you are married. The question is if you have children. So obviously you have to put the passport number, the passport information. Make sure that you put the correct information. Don't put the wrong information just to matter of submitting. Yeah. At this time, every information you're going to fill in the DS260, the U.S. Embassy doesn't have access to this information. U.S. Embassy doesn't have access to this information. U.S. Embassy will see the information on the DS260 once you have been scheduled for the interview. Once you receive the second notification letter, the DS260 is completely locked. You cannot open. It will be now under the hands of the U.S. Embassy. But before now, you can go, if after submitting, you can request it, unlock my DS260. They can unlock, you can make any change you want. The U.S. Embassy will never ask you anything because they don't have the access of the DS260. They have the access once you are already scheduled for the interview, that will be locked. So then after that, you come to the other pages, which you are told is just like the other information. So it's just simple information about your children, about whatever, mailing address. Those are important things. But remember, when they ask you the addresses, don't lie. Yes, I know in Africa or in Asia, some of the countries, we don't have the exact physical address. Like here in the United States, like he's saying 16, whatever, this number, and this is street, this is exactly house. But put the address. They want the address from the day you are 16 years old to today. That's what they want. From the present address to the previous until to the age of 16. They want all the addresses. And in case in those addresses there is a place you have lived in for 6 months and above, if it is out of your country, you will be required to have a police clearance record from that particular country. Doesn't matter when it was that. If it was, let's say, 10 years ago, you will still be required to have a police clearance report from that country to be given the visa. So the address is just make sure that you put all the address from the current to the old address while you are 16 years old. That is simple in that way. Put all the addresses. Then there are issue of phone numbers and the issue of social media accounts. Phone number, email, and social media account. They want all the phone numbers which you are using from now going back. The number you have used in the last 5 years. Even if you are no longer using that number, have you ever used any other number during the last 5 years? You have to put that number. Email address. You put the current email address. Have you used any other email address in the last 5 years? You have to put that one. Then remember, this email address, I advise you, if possible, use the email address you use in the application, if you can have access to that. That's why usually I ask people, if you go to the internet cafe, to the cyber, to the person asking, help me to fill the DS260, to fill the visa, the visa application form, make sure that person uses your address or your relative's address, because this address is very important email address, because it will be the current address. But if you don't, you can use the new address here. Yeah, but basically I prefer use the same email address for that particular purpose. You must provide an email address. This email address you provide will be used for correspondence purposes. Provide an email address that is secure and to which you have reasonable access. But if, I'm giving you an example, the email you used to apply, you don't have access to it, you have a new address, use the new email address which you have the access to. And then there is the issue of social media. And this is what I tell people all the time. Make sure what you post on social media is something normal. You have to select social media accounts, all social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. You put the username. And even if you don't use those social media right now, but you have used those social media in the past 5 years, you have to put it there. Failure to put in those social media accounts, trust me, you'll be in trouble. Because I know sometimes you might forget if you don't use that social media anymore, but don't don't say I forgot where you have access and you remember. They're not going to look whether you have so many tattoos. They're not going to look like how much beer you drink, how many times you go to the club. That's not what they're going to look. This is another aspect of security measure. What does that mean, security measure? They're going to look there. Have you ever gone there and liked the photo of Osama bin Laden? Have you been there and be supportive of Boko Haram? Have you been there and supportive of crazy stuff going on? If there is, let's say there is someone go crazy and shoot kids in the school, do you support that mass shooting? Those kind of things. Are you going there and say, I don't like Trump, I don't like Biden, I want this person to be dead? And remember, that is the president of the United States of America. Whether you like my political belief or not, if you go and do those kind of things online, they know you are risky, security risk to the United States of America. Those are the things they're going to look. They're not going to look on these smaller things about beer, about whatever, those kind of smaller things. No. So you have to put all social media accounts. So you have to watch what you are going to put there on social media. Then you have to put the mailing address, the address where you intend to live in the United States. This is very important. Why is it very important? Please provide the following information on where you intend to live after arrival in the United States. This is where I want to give you the difference between what people call host and the sponsor. They want the address of what we call the host. Meaning you have to put the residential address, not a business address, a residential address where a person lives there. That address, which you're going to put it there, can be maybe my address. Don't put a random address, because this address is where they send the social security number. This is the address where they send the green card. The host can be anyone legally live in the United States. Don't take a randomly person if you do not know even a little bit of the background, because the person, if is a drug dealer, you'll be in trouble. If a person doing a bad stuff, like is a most wanted person, obviously they will put you into those kind of blacklist. So this is the address. This person can be an international student, can be a person here in a visiting visa, can be a person who is a temporary worker, can be a green card holder, can be a US citizen, doesn't matter. It's just the address where we'll be staying. I know it is very difficult for people to get a host in America. So here are the things you can be able to do. Number one, if you're from Ghana, if you're from Nigeria, I know Nigeria, not many people there, but if you're from Ghana, you're from Ivory Coast, you're from Tanzania, whatever, go to the Facebook, find people who are the one going to help you. Find the people who are going to host you. For example, let me give you an example. You are from Tanzania. Find Tanzanian groups on social media, on Facebook. Go and find, let's say on Instagram, people who live in America. You know them, you have followed them on Instagram, social media. Ask them if they can host you. That will be one good start. You are Muslim. Find the Muslim association in Minnesota, in California, wherever. Ask Imam, Sheikh, whatever. That in one way or another. Another thing you can be able to do to get a host, if you are Christian, write to your community, wherever, like you are Seventh-day Adventist, find those associations and ask them. That is, you can be able to do that. And sometimes you can say, I have won the DV lottery, put on social media. I want to go to, I want someone to host me. I'll pay you if I arrive at you. So I'll use your address, but I'll stay at your house. I'll pay you. Or I want to use your address, but I'm not staying there. So for instance, one person can say, EBM, I want to use your address, but I'm not coming to stay at your house. So that means use my address, but you'll find a place to stay. If the card comes to me, you write, you contact me, I will send that information to you. So those are some of the things you can be able to use in that way to get a host. So that is just the address. Remember, this address is very, very crucial because is this the address where you want your permanent residence card to be mailed? The answer usually is yes. Because if you say no, you need to have another address in the United States again, where the card should be going to stay over there. So make sure that you put the address because you have to trust that person because the card will be sent there. So that is the most important thing, to make sure you have that one. Don't put a random address, because I've seen people put just a random address, then you'll change later. Wherever you arrive in America, they will send the card in that random address and someone will use your identity. That's why for me, I have a service to help people who are who are winners of the DV lottery. One, I will help them to find a host. I'm not hosting you at the moment, but I will help you to find you. You can use my address, but at the same time, I will help people at the same time to review their information, to make sure you have correct education, correct work experience, go and fill those visa form, prepare for the interview, make sure you have all the documentations, and give you a personalized guide, personalized blueprint for you specifically, how to start and succeed once you arrive in the United States. And all those kind of things I will be able to do with just $250. If you go to my website, which is ebmscholars.com, and you go on the services section, if you go on the service section, you'll be able to see what services I'm providing. Among the services I'm providing is the service for the DV lottery winners. And that service is the one to make sure that these winners get a chance of one way or another not to win and be denied the visa because you failed to fill the form correctly. Because there are some people, they fail to fill the form correctly, the visa form, and they're in trouble. So there are some paid services. There is 1 hour, 30 minutes consultants. But if you're the DV lottery winner, I'll be able to review your qualifications. I'll be able to review your documentations. I'll be able to see your current status, education, work experience, and I'll go to categorize and fill the DS260 for you and give the start, how to get the job, how to start to find a retirement in America, how to go and be able to succeed in one way or another in America once you arrive here. If you are this kind of education, do you want to continue that education? You want to change another education? What is the good cause? What is your passion? How can you be able to work and have a side business? All those kind of things I'm going to give categories for you for just $250. And if you pay that, I'll be able to do the service for you. What you need to do, you go and pay for the service and email me at ebm@ebmscholars.com. you'll be able to get that one. Once you find out you are the winner, I'll be able to get that one. But I know there are some people that don't have that money, and they are going to fill the DSC form for their on themselves. If you fill the DS260 by yourself, you fill this form by yourself, but you want me to go quick to review it and tell you where you made a mistake, I'll do that for free. So the only thing you need to do is just to go and email me at ebm@ebmscholars.com, and I'll be able to help you. Or if you want the paid service, again, you can pay through the website or email me that I want the paid service of $250 to be able to get that support of making sure that if I win, I don't have any particular problem to succeed. So the mailing address, the address where the card is going to be sent, it will be very, very important. So that is the form on the mailing address. Then from there, there come other important things. Usually there will be some information about your family. What does that mean? The family where if you are married, you have children, are you coming with those children, all those kind of things. So it doesn't matter whether that means when you come here, whether you are coming with your spouse or you're coming with your children, you'll be required to provide the information about your parents, their names, whether they live in Africa or wherever in America already. Whether you remember their date of birth, you put. If you don't, you don't. Don't lie, just put the information, whatever you have. If the person is, your parents is still living now, where do they live? All that kind of information. Then there will be information about other members of your family apart from your parents. Obviously, it will be the information about the children. So even if the children, remember, we're talking about the children who are currently the children who will be meeting the requirement. If in the development application the child was 21 years old, you don't count here. If the child is a US citizen, you don't count here. If a child is a green card holder, you don't count here. So they want your information about the current spouse. If you are married, you put the information. But remember, here on the spouse, you put the information, even including the date of the marriage, the city where you got married. And then the question is, this is the important part. Is your spouse immigrating with you to the United States of America? If the answer is yes, remember, on the DS260, apart from feeling that is coming with you, there will be a separate, you have to add a separate DS260. When you go to the main page, there will be another part you add your accompanying member. You add the information of the wife, and the wife has to fill all the information, education, addresses, and everything again. But if you say your spouse doesn't come with you, meaning your spouse is not going to get a green card, that is very important. But if you say, is your spouse immigrating to the United States later date to join you? If you say yes, still have to add the information. That means they can be able to be added for the interview on the separate date, but before the fiscal year to end. The fiscal year ends, the last interview is on September 30th of that particular year. So before September 30th, that person must be interviewed if he wants to join you at a later date. The same thing will be happening to the children the same way. If you are divorced, you have to put it there. Whether the person is coming with you, either the person doesn't come with you, you have to add those kind of information. Then you have to put the information also for the children. We have talked about the children we are talking about here. We are talking about the children who are under the age of 21, unmarried. Those children, those we are talking about. The one you apply, you put them there on the day you apply for the DV lottery. So if you have previous spouses, you have to add all the date of the divorce, all this information, you have to put them there. The children, remember the children, we are talking about what are the children? Those who are under the age of 21, unmarried, and you are the one, you added them on the day of application. So if the children are out of that range, they are US citizen, green card holder, or they are above the age that one, you don't say you don't have, you say you don't have children because they are not going to be included in the application here. So the children, again, you can put them there the same way. If you say you have children, you put children, let's say number 1, you put the information, even if the child is adopted. Remember, by adoption, it must be a legal adopted child. If the child lives with you, doesn't live with you, still, you have to add that child. And if you are coming with that child in America, you have to say, yes, is this child immigrating with you to the United States? If you say yes, again, on the accompanying family, you have to add it to be principal applicant, accompanying spouse. Then there will be like child number 1, child number 2, child number 3. You have to add there also information, meaning they need to have the passport, meaning they need to have the birth certificate to go to the interview. All this kind of information will be required for the information of the children. So, but don't say they're not coming with me just because they don't have the passport. Make sure you go and apply for passport for them. Then other information are just other simple informations. Have you ever been to the United States? The answer is yes or no. If you have never been to the United States, have you ever been issued the visa? That means you have, I mean, some people can be issued the visa but not come. So if no, the answer is no. Have you ever been refused the visa? Or if you refuse a visa or admission, you say yes, all those kind of things. Yeah, so those are the information you need to put there. Then it will come to the information where you need to add travel information. If you travel to the United States and you remember the information, wherever you put the information, the type of the visa, when the visa is issued, those kind of information you'll be having on your passport. But majority of people, sometimes they don't have that information, so it is easy, it's no. So then it comes to the issue of education and work experience. This is the very crucial part, because in the DV lottery, education and work experience are the determining factor, main determining factor, whether you'll be given the visa or not. So make sure you are going to put the correct education. Start with the current or the highest level of education, going lower. Because some people, they are in the university right now, maybe second year, third year, but they end up just putting high school education. They think that high school is the highest level they have. No, you are currently a university student. So they will ask you the name of the school, present school, previous school. What kind of occupation do you intend to do in the United States? Whatever it says here, whatever you choose has nothing to do whether it will be denied the visa. Because some people, they think, oh, if I say I'm going to be a banker, I'll get the job, they'll give me the visa. They don't care. As long as you're coming to the United States, not to do the illegal stuff, you'll be given the visa. So that is something important. So the work experience, you have to put the employer, the name, if it's a school, whatever, you put all the information. This is you see how the style it is. You have to write that in a separate paper. The name of the employer, the supervisor name, the phone number, all those kind of things, you have to put them on the application, on the DS260. Those are the information which are needed there. And especially for those who let's say they have the what? For those who don't have the education required of minimum of high school, you depend on the work experience. Make sure you have also supporting documentations of that work experience. You have job contract, you have current letter of endorsement, or just the letter of introduction. So and so is our employee, has been working here for this number of time, for this position. These are the job descriptions, and these are the responsibility of this particular person, kind of that. So if you're employed, obviously they will ask you the job description. That's why we say it is very, very important here. So I'll be happy to help you to fill those kind of things very, very correctly if you need that particular service for the EBM. So they need the job title, they need the type of work, be specific. If that job requires 2 years prior work experience, the name of the employer, the supervisor's name, they will ask all those kind of crazy questions. Yeah. But if you have high school, and even if you have high school, you have bachelor, you have masters, all those kind of things, you need to make sure that you are aware of those kind of things. Then from there, once you finish the education and work experience, you go, you see, like when you say this is your job, you have to put the employer's name, you have to put the address of the employer, you have to put the telephone number, the job title, the supervisor's name, the start date and the finishing date. All the information will be required here. So those are the very important information which are required in one way or another. One second. Okay. So then education. So the education work experience is the most crucial part, as I've been saying. Okay. Then after that one, it comes to the security background. These questions, most of them, there will be no, few will be yes, but most is no. For instance, have you ever been arrested and convicted in any offense, whatever, which will come on the answer is no. So if you have you ever been ever violated the engaging conspiracy law against whatever, so most of the answers on security questions are usually no. But if you have yes, you put yes, don't lie. But those are the important questions which will be able to determine. And one of the very interesting questions here, so all these questions are no, like being terrorists, coming to do the torture, all these bad things, whatever kind of that. So all these are very, very bad questions which you will not be there, kind of that. So if you say yes, you need to provide some information. Yeah, so those are some of the important questions which you need to be aware of. There is a question: do you plan to come here and practice polygamy? So whether your country allows you having more than one wife, that's your country. United States is no. If you say yes, you will be denied. Just let you know. Yeah, so those are some of the important questions you need to know of the background. And then from there will be, because this sample I'm using here will be having not all the questions, but some of the questions you just like, would you like for us to provide the social security number? Always the answer is yes. And then you'll go ahead and submit this one. The DS260 will be able to submit the entire form. Do you need the new card to be issued, like whatever, when you have that one? Have you ever had the social security number? Majority of you will be no, unless otherwise you have ever been to the United States, which they will use the same number, but they will give you the different, they'll remove those words under work authorization of DHS. So that is the overall of the DS260 form, a very comprehensive form. So once you fill this one, you will go and print the confirmation. The confirmation is the one which you need to go with it at the US Embassy on that particular way, on the day of the interview. So once you send this one, it will go to KCC, and then you wait for the second notification letter for the interview schedule. And once you schedule for the interview, remember, once you schedule for the interview, that is when you need to have the rest of the documentations. Obviously, you'll have the photographs, printed photograph. You'll have the evidence of your education, work experience. You'll have your passport ready. You have police clearance report. You'll have if you have any prison record. If you have ever served in the military, you need to have the military record, service record. If you have been deported from the United States, you need to have the deportation documentation. All these must have the original documentations. Countries, some other countries, they say you need to have, Tanzania, for instance, they need original and a copy. In Kenya, for instance, they say original and a certified copy. So it depends on whatever, and it must be in English language. Those ones, once you have, you'll be ready to be scheduled for the interview. And once you schedule for the interview, you go to do the medical first before the interview. And there is a video about the medical examination, about what are the things to be done, but you have to do the medical. That's why the interview schedule is done. You are given the information 6 weeks in advance so that you can have the scheduled interview in advance. And then you have scheduled interview in advance so that you can make sure that you do the medical. The medical fee depends from 300 to 500, depending on where you are and depending on the number of vaccination they need. But then you need to pay the visa fee. At the moment is 330 per person, though this one will change from June 1st. By May 30th, there are new changes which will be able to change. The fee is non-refundable if you're denied the visa. So the DS260 form is going to be able to determine, that means if you are going to be given the visa or not. But there are certain things, if you make a mistake, there will not be a big deal, but some of the mistakes, they will cost you. They'll make it difficult for you to be given the visa. So that's why if you have the chance of doing this one, is very, very important. If you want to know how many pages this one DS260 have, is a very long form. Sometimes some of the pages are going to increase basing on some of the information. Let's say if you are previous, maybe you have so many job experience, that means so much school from PhD, whatever, so many pages will be increasing from 20 to 30 to 50, depending on that, but it's a very long form. So that is something you need to pay attention to in that particular way. So that is a DS260. Some of the other important questions you need to know is, as I said, if you make any change, you ask KCC to unlock and to make a change the US Embassy doesn't know until you are scheduled for the interview where the US Embassy will have access to that. That means it will be locked at that particular moment. If you're the DV lottery winner, you are in the United States, yes, you will still fill the DS260, and the interview location you put USIS. That means you'll be doing under the US here. Then once your visa bulletin says your case number is current, you'll go ahead and fill another form, which is the I-485. And then there are other few things which you have to make sure that you are aware of. If you want to change the interview location, as I said. So those are important things for the DS260. Everything you need to know. But it's very, very important. Anything you put on the DS260, they will be able to use it to make a decision to give you or not to give you the visa on the day of the interview. So if people are going to be denied the visa, majority of them, they reflect on what they feel at the level of education, what they feel as work experience related to the documentation they're going to submit, in relation to the countries you say you have been living, to the police clearance, to the medical, to whatever, everything is going to be put together. So that is everything you need to know about the DS260. Again, if you want me to go and fill out the visa form, the DS260 for you, prepare for you for the interview, for you to be able to have a personalized guide on how to start your life and succeed in America before you come. And even if you come, you have access to ask me any question for entire year. I can be able to be your coach, to be your mentor for entire year. And you just pay just $250 for that particular service. But again, if you want me just to review your DS260, you feel by yourself and I can just look quickly and say, okay, make sure you remove this mistake. Or why do you have this one where documentation says this one? I'll be able to help you on that for free. But apart from that, remember, always go to my YouTube channel for more information. Even if you are not the winner of the DV lottery, there are other opportunities beyond the green card lottery. There are education pathways, fully funded scholarships, bachelor, master's, PhD. There are those who are coming for community colleges, coming to study on their own. There are those people who are coming here for other non-education pathways, summer jobs, internships, visiting visa, conferences. People are going for summer school, temporary work, express entry, like in Canada, employer-based visa, religious visa. So there are so many other things you can be able to do, or you can be sponsored by your relative. So just go to my website, which is www.ebmscholars.com, and my email is ebm@ebmscholars.com. Any question up to that moment? Sorry, I didn't want to take any question at the beginning because I want to make sure that this video is fully focused on the DS260, answering every single aspect without interruption of any kind. In case you don't remember the phone number, it's okay. But don't go and you don't put the phone number because you don't want to put the phone number. Make sure if you forgot, yes, there is no problem. But don't say, I don't remember this phone number while you remember the phone number. If I applied as a single zero child, yet I have children and one wife, if you win, don't say you have a child. If you say you have a child, you are denied that way. What if I have a family of 4? Do you still charge $250 to fill the DS260 form? Yes. It doesn't matter how many children you have in your family. I will fill the DS260 form for you. That is a very good question. The question from Elizabeth Kerubo. What if I have a family of 4? Do you still need $250 to fill the DS260 form? Yes. Because when I'm going to fill the DS260 form, let's say the winner is you, Elizabeth Kerubo. You are the winner. You are the wife. Yes, I will fill for you. When you add your husband, I will add your husband. I will fill the husband. If you have 3 children, 4 children, 5 children, I will add them. Still, the charge is the same. I will reveal the documents for all of your family, still for the same charge. And because you two are adults, I will give the personalized, you, the wife, and the husband, different pathways. Like if you are already in America, one wants to become a doctor or wants to go to become a nurse, another wants to become a truck driver. I will personalize, give you different personalized. Okay, this is how you start. These are your resources. If you come here during high school, this is your route. If you come here with a bachelor degree, this is your route to get certification. This everything. So no matter how many you are in your family, as long I treat one family as one winner, just like how the U.S. government does. If let's say I'm giving you an example, a winner with 10 children is considered as one visa. So when you say the U.S. government is going to offer 55,000 visas, is not that like if someone is married with 2 children, there are 4 in total. That those are 4 visas. For me, I consider it's one visa, just like the U.S. government. So no matter how many you are in your family, it's still $250 where I'll be able to do that. So that is what I want you to do. If you want the service, go to the EBM Scholars, EBM Scholars website, which is www.ebmscholars.com. If you go to that particular website, you'll be able to see the services. Go on the services and you'll see Green Card Lottery services. There is a service for me to apply for you on the Green Card Lottery application when the time comes. There is a service for the Green Card Lottery winners who are outside the United States. There is a service for the individual winners who are already in the United States. And then there is a service which will be coming up for the hosting services for the DV Lottery winners. So remember, coming to the United States is one, but succeeding in the United States is another thing. That's why I made a video even yesterday, which explaining that this is how much you'll be able to make in the United States. And there is no reason for you not to succeed if you win the DV lottery and come to the United States as the DV lottery winner. With a proper guidance, you have anything will be able to stop you to be able to succeed. What you need to do is to get a right person. Remember, not every immigrant in the United States knows how to be able to succeed, because each person came here to a different route. There are some people who have invested our life on so many things. There are some people that have been here 10, 15, 20 years, but they are focused on maybe engineering. That's what they do. But for me, I've focused for over 15, 16 years on how someone can go to another country, start their life in that country, and succeed in that particular country. So I have so much expertise in this particular area. That's why it is very important, like how Elizabeth was asking, the way on how you can be able to come here and be able to succeed. So go and get the service. If you want the free service for me to review, I can review your DS260, but it will be better for me to be able to fill for you so that you can reduce unnecessary chances of being denied the visa for things which are avoidable. For me, I completed a level and I went to Saudi Arabia. So which working experience can I put? Whatever work experience you have in the last 5 years, all the jobs you have put them there. What about my last name? I put it my nickname instead of my real name. Can I correct in the DS260 because my nickname is not written on my passport? First of all, that is a big mistake you have done. Next time is, so when you go to fill the DS260, on the name, when you're going to fill the DS260, on the beginning, they will ask you the following information. They will ask you the case number, you put the case number, then when you go in, the last name, you put the last name, that whatever your name you put there, but you can correct that name and never do that mistake again. This is not a joke, people. People don't understand what is green card. When they ask you here, the name will appear here. The name will appear here as your name. So when you go to complete here, you can correct that information with the correct name. But never again put that mistake. Make sure, and even on the developmental instructions, this is what I'm trying to explain to people. Let's go to the developmental instruction. On the form, name, last name. You must provide all of the following information to complete the entry. Failure to accurately include all the information will make you developmentally ineligible. Name, last name, first name, middle name, exactly as it appears on your passport if you have a passport. So next time, don't make that mistake. This is not a joke, people. It's a serious business. My work experience is housekeeping. Listen to everyone. When you go to do that, I don't care what is your job type. There is housekeeping at your neighbors. There is housekeeping at White House. That is the two different things. So that's why I'm saying I cannot just say by the title. Where do you work? What requirement does it? Because the housekeeping at the White House might require maybe bachelor degree or master's. Housekeeping in another place doesn't require any primary school education. So it's not about the title. It's about also execution of that job. The medical, US doesn't have their own medical, but they have specific doctors in each country, the list of 2 or 3 doctors in each country where they will be allowed to do that one, to do the medical. So that is what I want to do today. What I'll do the last before I finish, I'll do like what I did yesterday. What I do, I'm going to do one, like yesterday, I did one thing. What I did was to have people, to have the chance to win, opportunity to have 1 hour consultation, one-on-one video meeting with EBM. How do we do that? Just like yesterday. What you need to do is simple. Once you win, you need to go to write to me the email to ebm@ebmscholars.com. What you need to do is go and type the word the hashtag EBM. If you go and put your name, you put your if you put it, you type _EBM, the hashtag EBM, you get into the draw. If I click draw here, we are going to get to the winner. The winner will get the opportunity to get 1 hour meeting with me, which I'll be able to give any guidance needed, whether it will be after winning the DV lottery or before, other pathways, and based on your experience. But in the meantime, let me know if you are one among the people who is thinking that you are going to be the winner of the DV lottery. Are you hoping? Are you have the guts? Are you feeling that you are going to be among the DV lottery winners? If yes, tell me yes. I needed to have 100 people entering onto the entry, then I'll quickly draw. So just keep hashtag EBM. You'll be able to enter into the draw, and I'll do 2 draws. Those draws will make it the opportunity for you to have one-on-one meeting with EBM, just like how people do like this way. So go and just write hashtag EBM. When you go to fill the DS260, you don't pay on that one. But if you pay someone to fill it, but there is no payment to fill the DS260. The payment is visa fee you pay. Yeah. So type, we have 45 people. Let's go to 50 people, then I'll quickly draw. Write EBM. I know some people make a mistake, it will not count. If you hashtag EMB, that is a mistake, is EBM. I ask the people who are thinking that they are going to be the winner. Riken is thinking is going to be one among the winner. We want to see more people who are having the feeling that they're going to be the winners of the DV lottery. So we have 50 people. I'm going to do a draw right now. We are going to see who is going to be the winner. Then after this draw, I'm going to do the second time. So let's find who is going to be the winner today. Okay, Christopher Vivian, Alex Maranga is the winner. This, why I'm doing this one, this is how the DV lottery is going to be playing. That means the winner is randomly. As long as you entered, you are eligible, is randomly. You have no control. It's a system you cannot control. So Alex Miranga, please email me at ebm@ebmscores.com to claim you are winning. That means you claim the opportunity to be among the people to have a chance to have one-on-one meeting with the EBM, video meeting. We are going to do that. And please continue to write while I'm answering a few questions. Go and put hashtag EBM. Once we reach 100, I'm going to do another draw. Abu Muhammad, my brother, I want to know that I don't have work experience, but I have my own business permit and business registration certificate. To have a business registration, do you do business? Because you can have a business, but don't do anything. That is not work experience. Bill Gates has a Microsoft, and he worked for that company. To have a business doesn't mean you do the thing. You must have business which is operational, and you as the CEO. So we want to see the right hashtag EBM. We are 79 now. We want to get up to 100 quick, and then I will quickly draw again. And if I quickly draw again, we are going to get the winner. We are 20 remained. But also don't forget at the same time to follow the new channel, which is youtube.com/DV Lottery channel. Make sure you go and subscribe to that channel. We are 10 more people left. Make sure you go right. Make sure you go and put hashtag EBM. Just go and put hashtag EBM. We are almost 100. I'm going to do another. There is a question. Will you be able to pay that amount when you win the DV lottery? Will you be able? Will you be interested with EBM Scholars Service? The answer is yes or no. If you are that, the service will be including so many things, including people who are the winners, to get the personalized guide, but most importantly, to be able to get a chance to know procedures on how to succeed in America, to fill the DS260 correctly, make sure that once you go to the interview, there is no any problem that way. Are you going to do that? The answer, yes or no. Will you pay for that service? We have already 100 people. Okay, I'm going to do a draw again. Okay, let's see. How many, who is going to be the winner today? Okay, Mr. UG256. That means is Mr. Uganda. And the person has a US flag at the back. I don't know where is that, but I think it's in Uganda. Mr. Uganda 256. Please email me at ebmscholars.com. Email me and claim you are winning. And on the day of the DV lottery, we'll find people who have won the DV lottery and they'll play the winning, which I'll fill the DS260 free for them. I will do the winning for this one, for them to be also the winners, for me to fill the visa form for them free of charge. Okay, before I finish, let me answer the question. There is a question about polygamy. EBM, please clarify on this. In Kenya, polygamy is allowed. So if my wife is the primary winner and she includes me, am I still eligible to come as a husband? Yes. But you are not coming in the United States with the 2 wives. That's what is not allowed. You come with 1 woman. That's okay. The question is, are you coming to the United States to practice polygamy? That is the question. So whatever you have in your country is legal, is legal. Once you come here, is 1 woman, 1 husband, whatever. So there is no polygamy here. So if you have 3 wives, the one you put on the DV lottery, that's will be able to come with in the United States. Yes, congrats to Mr. Uganda 256. The last question before I sign out, please let me know. The answer is yes or no. Will you be able to do to get that one, the service for 250? Someone wants to know, please, interview starts which month? The interview starts on the first day of October, October 1st, until September 30th. Will you pay for the service of 250? I see couple yes. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. How many are they going to get the service? Yes, yes, yes. And in that service, if you want to use my address but you don't come to stay in my house, it is part of the service. That means you will be able to use my address. Okay, someone asked a question. I see a lot of yes. My question is still $250 for consultation alone? No, consultation alone is just different. Consultation alone is this one. If you want just consultation, 30 minutes is $30. 60 minutes is $50. 30 minutes meeting consultation is $30. 60 minutes is $50. So if you want just consultation alone, you don't want anything, I can do just consultation alone. You book there, you see, it's just like $30 for 30 minutes, $50 for 60 with that one. Even if you are the winner, I'll be able to do that. Okay, I see. Yes, yes, yes. I see a lot of yes. I'm a manager, but a certificate. It depends on what are you managing. But that's, if a manager, that's good. I mean, it depends on the, okay, I see yes, yes, I will, yes, I will. Okay, I see a lot of yes. Okay, thank you each and everyone. So let's finish our will D7 in core math or affect the review winner? Some countries, I see some embassies, they want good results. Some people, they don't. Yes, I will. Someone in Ethiopia says, I can pay $250, but I'm not able because of regulation in Ethiopia. We'll just see what we can do. If you are in a country where they don't do that, we'll be able to figure out what you can be able to do, like regulation, like how you can pay. So those are the things we'll be able to see. And the filling alone is how much? So the service for $250 is all filling the DS260, guiding you, helping you. If you want to use my address for DS260, you can use my address, but you don't stay at my house. All the services, the entire thing. And even if you come here for the entire year, you can text me, you can call me. I can give you a guidance while you're in the United States. It's $250. Okay, so thank you so much. So before we end this one, we want to put one dance celebration for people who are expecting to be the winners of the DV lottery. So let's find one happy dance for everyone to be able to be excited to celebrate. I know there are some people that will be doing like this crazy stuff, like when they win, like can't wait to see people are happy finding out. And then there will be those people dancing, kind of that. We can't wait to see people celebrating, to come and enjoy what the American dream is going to offer. So there are so many things which people will be excited, like, okay, you were the winner, then what? Those are the things you'll be able to jump everywhere. But remember, while you are jumping, you are dancing, going those kind of things, remember, you have to remember your case number first before you start jumping and eating jollof and pilau and eating rice and beans, whatever it is, going to bar. Please remember, you have to check the case number, whether how high it is or how low it is. And for those who like to go, I have to live in California. Remember the traffic. Remember how busy California is. That is the way in California nearby Santa Monica. And that is some of the homes, the dreams. If you go to the Texas, you go wherever, smaller states, you can get those type of homes for the reasonable type of price. But if you decide, okay, for me, I want to go to enjoy California, but I want to stay in San Diego, cool, beach, whatever it is, those are the things you'll be able to do in the end. And so I know there are so many people are watching from every corner of the world. So I very thank you for continued support. I'll be again live tomorrow at the same time like today. So we are going to do a countdown to end our live stream. Remember to subscribe to the EBM Scholars and the new YouTube channel, which is the Lottery channel. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.